Good morning, Gateway Kids. Hopefully by now you have seen the video of our story today on our YouTube channel. If you'd like to find the story for yourself, you can find it in the Jesus Storybook Bible. On this page, the chapter is called 10 Ways to Be Perfect. Or you can find it in a Bible in Exodus chapters 19 to 20. So, how could we dwell in the story today? I've got 3 ideas for you. Number 1, you could play one of your favourite games. That might be Connect 4 or Dobble or Uno or Where's My Cupcake? It could be any game that you fancy. Play it with your family. And why don't you try playing without any rules? What is it like to play without any rules? Maybe you could have a think about why rules are important. Number 2, you could create something to help you remember the 10 commandments, because 10 is quite a big number, isn't it? 10 things to remember. Wow. Maybe you would like to use your 10 fingers. You could draw around your hand and write something or draw something in each of the 10 fingers. Maybe you could use 10 lolly sticks. Maybe you could make something with 10 flaps that you open. I'm sure you've got lots of good ideas of how you could make something to remind you of the 10 commandments that God gave his people. Now, while you're doing that, you could have a little think. God gave his people rules to show them how to live, how to be close to him, and how to be happy. They showed how life works best. But we can't keep God's rules all the time, no matter how hard we try. Only Jesus could keep God's rules all the time. And he came to earth to stand in our place and be perfect for us. Nobody is perfect. Nobody, apart from Jesus, could keep those rules all the time. So just remember, when you're looking at your 10 commandments, you can try your best, but you'll never be able to do them all the time. And you can thank Jesus that he forgives you when you don't quite get it right. Number 3, create something to remind you to love God and love others. Now, in the New Testament, many years after God gave Moses the 10 commandments, a man asked Jesus which was the most important of the 10 commandments. And Jesus said the most important thing was to love God and to love other people. And so why don't you make something to remind you to love God and love other people? And you might want to have a little think about what that actually means. What does it mean to love God? What does it mean to love other people? In my house, I have this on the wall to remind me of the verses in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 to 8, to remind me of what love is. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonour others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Now, you might want to make something that you can hang up in your bedroom or in your lounge or dining room. You'd have to ask your grown-up about that, to remind you of what love is. And I've made a little example for you here. I've started making a little mobile. So the two most important commandments are love God and love others. And then I've put some little pieces of paper hanging from my heart, and I've written the first two parts of the verse from 1 Corinthians. Love is patient, love is kind. You could make something like this, and you could write all the different aspects of love hanging down from your heart, or you might have a better idea of how you want to remind yourself of what love is. And when you're doing that, when you're making your mobile or your picture or your Lego sculpture or whatever it is, you might want to think about people that you struggle to love with patience and kindness. Maybe people that you're a bit jealous of, or maybe people that you tend to boast around when you're around them. And maybe ask God to help you to love them